Well, hello VC, and welcome to my latest video. This video is going to be a little bit different than my normal videos. I've got one record in the front that I'm going to compare pressings, and then the rest of the records I'm just going to share some music, some of my favorite records with you. And let's get started. First up, Yes, Fragile. Now if you don't have this record, if you haven't heard it before, you can stop this video and go on YouTube and start listening to this. This is just one of those great rock LPs of all time. Yes, Fragile. Now this one is a Japanese first edition. And it is P8206A. That is the first edition. And you know, they come with this nice book. And it's got this Roger Dean art. You know, a lot of the Yes LPs feature this nice Roger Dean artwork on them. That's one of the things that's really endearing about Yes, is the nice artwork, Roger Dean artwork on their LPs. There's a few other bands that got Roger Dean stuff on it. Uriah Heep comes to mind, has got some of that. But that's a nice little thing to have in a record. Nice little book comes with it on the first edition like that. And the sound on this record now, the sound on this is really good. This is a really good sounding record. The one I had before, which I thought was the first edition, it had a red OB on it. You know, I bought that years ago when I didn't know as much about, you know, Japanese pressings as I do now. And but that record always bothered me. It always had something with the high end on it that it was bothered my ears. It had that high, kind of a high shrill in it, and I didn't like the record. I didn't think it sounded all that great. And I'm like, how can it be? It's a Japanese first press. How can that not sound good? Well, it wasn't the first press. This one is. And this has got phenomenal sound on it. And now a few years ago, I was at a hi-fi show in Jacksonville, Florida, Exponia, and you know, they sell a lot of records there, and I saw this. And this is made by, you know, Analogue Productions, Quality Records. This was one of the first records that they came out with. And look who it's mastered by, Kevin Gray and Steve Hoffman. Yeah, you know that's going to be a phenomenal record when you see those kind of names on there. And again, look at this, nice big thick covers. They just tried to make it as faithful to the original as they absolutely could. And it's got a nice book in there as well. It's kind of on a shiny paper. It's even higher quality than the Japanese stuff, which the Japanese is always the highest quality. Your original books that you got and the domestic pressings were like on newsprint. Yeah, the cheapest stuff the record companies could find to put stuff out on. But the bottom line is now, this sounds better. This new remaster by Acoustic Analogue Productions. It's got all the detail of the Japanese original, but it's not as bright when it does it. It's got better bass, got better imaging. It's just a better record. And it's so gratifying to know now that finally there's people in the United States that are taking the time to make records that are actually better than Japanese originals. And that's why we always went out and bought those Japanese originals, because they sounded better, so much better than any of the domestic records that the big record companies used to put out. So now finally, you know, people who love records and love the sound of them are actually, those are the kind of people that are making records now. Not people that are trying to get rich off of making records. Now, Chris had talked about some love records that he likes, and he was talking about Da Capo, and that's from 1966, and that's his favorite one. Now my favorite record here, Forever Changes, is from 1967, and I feel this is the best that Love ever did right here. This has got lots of great songs on it, and when I want to listen to some Love, this is the record that I'm going to go to. And I was very fortunate. I was able to pick it up on the Rhino reissue, and of course this is better than the original. Big thick cover. It's on the Gold Electra label. Just a fantastic record all the way around. And you know, I used to have Da Capo and For Sale, but this one out here, I kept this one. This is just a cool record right here now. It's on a big gatefold, and it folds out. There's the picture on it. You know, that's pretty cool. and it's on the Blue Thumb label. It's not on the Elektra label. All the other Love records are on that, but this is on the Blue Thumb, and this is the hype sticker that was on the original Shrink. Still got that. It's nice to have that. And this record's good. This is a little different from their other Love records. This is more like a psych record, but it's got some really good songs on it, and it's got, of course, some so-so songs on it. But that's another Love keeper for me. Now, I came across these two Jimi Hendrix records just lately. These are reissues, and they were made in like 1980, but they were recorded in 1966. This is recorded in the States now before Jimmy goes to the UK, and these are like jam sessions. But you know, there are individual songs on here, but on this record here now, these are Japanese pressings I got, and Let the God Sing. Histon, I guess, is the name of the author of the record. Let the God Sing. And I put that song on. Actually, you know, the name of the record is Free Spirit, and it's got Free Spirit is the second song on here. So I was going to compare these two, and I went to put Free Spirit on it, flipped it to the other side, and it's got Let the God Sing. And I started listening to that, and oh man, I've got the air guitar, I'm jumping up and down, I'm just having a great time dancing around playing. That stuff on here, that old 1966 Jimi Hendrix stuff, this is phenomenal music right here. I never heard it before. And you know, these are a couple records that you don't see around very much. And if you do, they're on eBay. And they're not going for a lot of money. They're reissues that were made in 1980. But I'm telling you what, that song now, Let the God Sing. Maybe that, if that's on YouTube, go listen to that, and you'll get an idea what these records are. Now, they're not the same record. They don't have the same music on it. It's not just a different cover. They actually are different songs on the records. Got Good Times, Voices, Suspicious, Whipper, Soul Food, Voice in the Wind, Free Spirit, Let Me Thrill Your Soul. You know, that's the kind of stuff on that record. And Hey Leroy, Free Spirit, House of the Rising Sun, Somebody You Got, Let the God Sing, and She's a Fox. I'm telling you what, check that stuff out. That's some really good rock and roll music there now. And then I've got some things I wanted to talk about here. This is more modern type. You know, I'm kind of stuck in the 70s, early 70s with all the music that I like. But I do like to kind of come across some of this more modern stuff that's good too. And I listen to a lot of this Incubus on YouTube, and most of it I don't really like very much. But this record right here, Morning View, is a stand-up. This is a really, really good record. Have a listen to that. I think you really enjoy it. And then we've got Porcupine Tree. A lot of they've been around for a long time, Porcupine Tree, since the 90s, I think, early 90s. And you know, I've listened to almost all their records on YouTube, and I really didn't like any of them. But what drew me to Porcupine Tree in the first place was a song off this record, Signify, called Dark Matter. Now, if you want to know what this band's about, if you haven't heard them before, just go on YouTube, look up Porcupine Tree, Dark Matter, listen to that song. If that's the kind of thing you like, then these records are for you. I really, really like them. This is a great record here, Signify. They're all double LPs. This is In Absentia and Fear of a Blank Planet. These three records are really good. These are the kind of records, this is song after song after song after song is good. There's not like, okay, this side, one song on this side is good, and there's two songs on the other side. No. All this, it's the double records, and all the songs are good. So I'd like to recommend you go listen to that, see what you think of that stuff. Let me know. Then we've got a band from Canada called the Tragically Hip. And this is one of those cases where in Canada they play a lot of different music, and it doesn't get transferred up here to the States, or the rest of the world doesn't get to hear it. But this is one of those bands people need to know about. If you don't know about the Tragically Hip, this is their first record now, and this came out in 1987. This is an EP with six songs on it, six great songs. And then the next record that came out was Up to Here. This came out in '89, and I was lucky enough. I was in Jacksonville, Florida, at a record store, and I found a promo. And of course, it's mint condition. And the nice thing about the promo is, you get the promo picture in the promo. That's what these photos I always have up here. That's where they come from. They come from inside of a record, the promo of the first edition. That's what these photos are. That's why they're record related. That's why I have them. And wow, what an item there, you know, with the promo picture in it. And another, Up to Here, another phenomenal record by the Tragically Hip. Then the next record that came out was Road Apples. Road Apples is '91, and I was still able to get this. I was in the record club at the time, and they had this record, and I picked it up. It's an original '91. That's been reissued, but that's an original copy now. And then after that, Fully Completely came out in '92, and I wasn't able to ever find the record in '92. I didn't really was out there looking for it, but I never saw it anywhere. I would have purchased it, but I didn't see it. And it's been reissued now by Universal in Canada, and so it's a good signing record. It's out there. My kids know this record by heart. They love it. All my kids love this record because I played it so much. They know it and they love it because it's just a great record. Okay, now after that, I don't have any more. In between here, there's a bunch of records. One of them is called Day for Night. Now, Dr. Deadwex has that record. He was able to snafu it somehow, and he's not going to part with it. It's a really hard to find record. You know, that comes out in '94. Records were really hard to get in '94, and so there's not very many of them around. They're going to be reissuing it, and I hopefully soon, and I can pick it up on vinyl. And then they had Trouble at the Hen House, Phantom Power, Music at Work, The Violet Light, In Between, Evolution. Those records, I've had a bunch of them. Had them on CD, and it's like, you know, the CDs are gone. Where do they go? They go to the CD in the sky place. I don't know where they ended up. I don't have them anymore. But they really weren't that good. I tried to get into them, but it just wasn't happening. Not like these records that I've mentioned here. These are fantastic records. And then this is one of their later ones now. We Are the Same. This is pretty good. Now, this is one of my favorite bands here, the Alex Harvey Band. This is Framed, and as you can see now, Framed came out on the Swirl label, and I'm lucky enough, yeah, I have a Swirl. Now this is not a UK first edition Swirl, this is a German press, with the UK bag, of course. But this is just a great record right here. Songs on it are Framed, Hammer Song, Midnight Moses, Isabel Goldie, Buff's Bar Blues, Hole in Her Stocking, There's No Lights on the Christmas Tree, Mother, They're Burning Big Louie Tonight, and St. Anthony. Yeah, fantastic. Next, record by Alex Harvey. Okay, that Framed is from 71, I believe, 72. Framed came out in 72. You know, Alex Harvey's been around a while, and he had a band in 1960. And in 1960, he's from Scotland. They're a Scottish band. It was called his Big Band, and they opened up for a band that come to town, Johnny Gentle and His Group. Have you ever heard of that one before? Johnny Gentle and His Group. Well, who was his group? Somebody called John Lennon, Paul McCartney, John, Paul, and George Harrison. Who are those guys? Yeah, we know them guys, don't we? So, that's pretty cool. Alex Harvey opened up for the Beatles back in the day. So the next record that comes out now is Next. And Next is in 73. And this is a Japanese pressing that I've got. And here we've got Swamp Snake, The Faith Healer, Next, The Last of the Teenage Idols. Some really good songs on there too. And this is the Japanese copy. Now in Japan and in Germany and in some of the other countries, they have this like a silver and black on the cover. In the UK, the first edition is a foil cover like this, and those are really hard to get in nice condition because the foil, they always get wear on them. Now in the United States and in Canada, the record came out like this, and with this color scheme, and it was also in the States issued on the swirl. Very rare, hard to get, because most of these now in the UK they quit issuing the swirl in '72. Now this is a '73 record with the swirl on it. Now in '74, The Impossible Dream came out. This is another really, really good Alex Harvey record. This is from '74. It's a gatefold. This is a UK press. And we've got the Hot City Symphony on here, Man in the Jar, River of Love, Long-Haired Music, Sergeant Fury, Weights Made of Lead, you know, Impossible Dream. This is one of his really, really good records right here. And it's got that kind of cartoon kind of cover. But in the States, you know, in Canada and UK and that, this is the cover they had. But for some reason in the United States, they came out with this cover. So I've got this one as well. Then in '75, Tomorrow Belongs to Me. This has got some good songs on it too. But you know, this is where Alex Harvey, there's the odd song on here now that's not so great like those other records. Every song on them is good. Now he's starting to go downhill just a little bit here, but this is still a good record. Penthouse Tapes. I just picked this up last week on the first edition Japanese with the OB. Really, really hard records to get to Japan like this. And then we've got the Alex Harvey, The Stories, and this is from '76. Rock Drill is from '78. The Alex Harvey, the new band, The Mafia Stole My Guitar. This is his solo record. This is a good record too right here. But this is from '79 now. And in 1982, just a month before he died, he recorded this record. And this is The Soldier on the Wall. And it comes with a book. I mean, it actually comes with a book. You know, if they say a book, now this is a book. It's got some cool pictures of Alex Harvey in here. This is like, you know, late '50s Alex Harvey. And then it's got all the songs in here, all the great songs by Alex Harvey, with the lyrics and the music. And a bunch of cool pictures in here. So that is a really, really nice item. And I hope you enjoyed the video. I like sharing some of my music with you. I hope you look up some of these records on YouTube and enjoy them as much as I have over all the 40 years that I've listened to these records. And thanks for watching.